Yes. So this is your painting. We're going to call it Roma. Isn't it fascinating? Ooh, gold paint. Okay. I'm glad I didn't wear my good clothes today.
It's just like, what? You're letting me get messy?
Wow, that's so pretty.
Come here. Yay! Here we go.
The artist coming out.
Clap hands. Clap hands.
Done.
Yay! So there's an affirmation here, a blessing that we do in Unity all the time. So Rock, you need to stand up and take it. Turn around.
All of a sudden, this makes a different meaning.
Rock, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. Can we do that one more time all together? Rock, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. All right. So while Rock's cleaning up, I'm going to talk to you just quickly about a couple things about that, because it was really important to me. Signing on the dotted line and artists. And we've talked about this before, but this is the Cézanne, and he only signed about 10% of the art in his studio. When he died, only about 10% of his art was signed. Because for him, it wasn't finished. You always thought he was going to come back to it at another time and finish it. And so, can you imagine if you owned one of them and he didn't sign it? But if you did sign it and you owned it, the incredible value that his signature is on it, it exponentially makes it even more valuable because it's so rare and so specifically committed to. This is mine. I'm putting my signature on it. Rock said, this is it. This is, I'm done. I have finished this project and signed it. I've committed fully to it. One of our most major modern artists, who's no longer with us, but from the last century, of course, was Andy Warhol. And Andy Warhol loved signing. So, well, he did. So this was obviously Andy Warhol's Campbell soup can, his painting, which recently at an auction sold for $15 million. $15 million, right? This one you can get for 99 cents. Right? And what's so amazing about it, that he so loved to sign work, that a friend of mine in New York that lived around the corner from me, I went to his house one day, and on his mantelpiece was a Campbell soup can, just like this, signed by Andy Warhol. That he was hanging out with Andy and brought him a soup can, and Andy signed it. He put his signature on something that belonged to all of us, but he claimed it and staked it as his own. That's the power of commitment. That's the power of saying, this is who I am, this is important, and I own it. But it's not a personal owning. He was reflecting popular culture. He was reflecting all of us. And so it became this really amazing instrument of group power, group dynamic. And that's the power that a signature can do. I claim this. I reflect what all of you think, know, see, believe. And I claim it for myself. I put my name on the dotted line. I commit. We see that in contemporary society with all the tagging. We see how kids longing for their own identity, how people who are marginalized and not listened to and feel they have no voice tag everything they can because they are longing to stake that claim. This is who I am. This is what I believe. And I will be noticed. And will be seen and heard. We all have the power to do that. We all have the power when we sign our name on the dotted line. And we have many, many different ways we can do that in today's world. We can do it in verbal contracts with each other. We can do it in our work, right? That we commit to a project. We say we will take this job and we finish it. We see it through to its end. We do it in personal relationships, where we say, I commit to you. I commit to us getting through whatever life brings us together. Whatever life brings us together. And sometimes you have to make 2 or 3 commitments before you find the right one. But when you do, it is the most amazing and compelling act of personal devotion. I've shared this with some of you before. When JD and I adopted our son, Tobias, he was 15 at the time when we were having the meetings about adopting him. And the social workers made us promise not to change our minds. That they wouldn't even introduce him to us unless we committed that we would stay with him and parent him no matter what. No matter what he did, no matter how hard it got, that we would stay his parents. That's quite a commitment. And we thought about it for a second, and we thought of all of our relatives, our friends, our nephews and nieces, and went, well, that's the same commitment that their parents made. Right? When you have a child, you don't know what you're getting. And you commit to them through the long haul. And we said, yeah, if we want to be parents, that's the commitment we make. That we will commit to, his name was Lamai at the time, to Lamai no matter what. And when we formally adopted him, he changed his name. Because he was starting again. And he signs a new name today. He signs a new name because he's a new person and he wanted to claim that identity. He wanted to claim it by signing on the dotted line. His new life. We also do it on social media. And here's where it gets tricky for a lot of us, right? Social media is meant to be inflammatory in some ways, meant to get you going. And recently, one of my cousins in Louisiana, so just to get you give you some geographic location for where he is, posted something about Beyonce and being a Black Panther. And I lost it. Because I love me some Beyonce. Right? And I lost it on my social media page, on my Facebook page. Right? And then I had to step it back. Then I had to write him back because he unfriended me. Not that I can blame him. And write him privately and apologize. Not for my beliefs, but apologize for my tirade. And it made me realize in that moment that that is a signature. It's got my picture on it and my name, and everything I post is signing on the dotted line. It's saying, this is who I am and what I believe. And one of the things I believe most is kindness, is in treating people with respect and dignity, and in staying positive. And if I couldn't do that with my cousin on his Facebook page, how can I stand up here on any week and ask you all to do the same? So signing on the dotted line today is so different than when we started. It was meant for contracts. It was meant, and there's great value in signing a contract and living up to your commitment. But how many different ways today do we sign on the dotted line? How many different ways do we make our name mean something? Make it mean something important. One of the greatest examples of that is in the Declaration of Independence and the signature of John Hancock. Right? We all know the myth and the story about it. King George won't need his spectacles to see this signature. And he wrote it big and bold and underlined it. Right? What if we all did that in the important things in our life? Signed our name big, bold, and underlined it and said, this is who I am. This is what I believe in. And this is what I'm willing to stake my life on. Kindness, generosity, positive thinking. What if these ideals that I hold were so important that I would sign for them, commit to them, and use them to change the world? Rock did that when he stepped up and said yes to this. A 1.5-year project he did not know he was signing on for. But he committed to it and he stayed with it and through it. And we have this beautiful expression of our community behind us. So my challenge to all of us, to myself and to all of us this week, is to choose carefully. Choose carefully what we say, what we commit to, what we believe. And then to commit confidently, knowing that that comes from a deep inner space of knowing, of prayerful understanding of this is who I want to be in the world. And this is worth signing my name to. And then to carry that out completely. In whichever way serves you best, to step forward and to fill out your commitment to life, to your beliefs, and to principles of love, of kindness, of generosity. And whatever else that is true for you, that is resonating, powerful, important in your life. If we all did this, no easy thing, but if we all did it, there'd be a hell of a lot less things to complain about. Right? Let's take that to our time of meditation.